Hey everyone, my name is Dimitar and I will show you today how you can do a simple search, but instead of using Firebase, we will use our own API goals. Actually, the difference is not that, it's not very much of a difference. The only difference probably is that we'll use an API goal. So instead of an API goal, I think you can use a query collection and just do the same thing. But yeah, we're talking about API calls right now because I really love API calls and I love to do my own backup and use sorry, and use my own choice of database. So yeah, so this is a simple layout. We have only one column, which is actually have a row, and inside this row we have a text field, a normal text field, and we have an icon, which is a search icon. But actually this icon is just a fake icon. You don't need it, but it's probably more user friendly to have an icon here. So people just think that if they click the icon, everything will work. But it will work. It doesn't matter if the people click on the icon or not. So it's up to you, but I prefer to have it here as an icon. So next we have inside the column, so we have this row, and after that we have the list view. And actually the list view will be used to output the data from the user search. So if a user type, it's a very simple concept. If a user types something over here, we need to actually have this need first. If you want, you can have the autofocus. So if the autofocus means that if if a user lands on this page, it will be automatically clicked here, so a person can just start writing wherever they want to search. And the other very important, this is actually optional, so if you want to do it or not. And the other very important thing is to update page on change. We'll actually use this in order to dynamically change the result that we get from the search that the user typed. So this is very important to be on, but because without this it will not work. And also it is important for me, it is important to have the show clear field icon, which is this icon over here, because there should be an easy way for the user to actually delete and clear this box. Why is that? Because we'll actually have two things here. If I go to the list view, we actually have this is important if you want to make the user experience better. And you have, for example, you can have this show empty list widget, and you can show just an image. I'll show you what I mean. If no one search anything here, it will just show an image, and you can say just no results or something like that, wherever you want to in the image, with the image. Or you can use, instead of an image, you can use actually a component, and you can just have whatever you want to in this component. And you can also have, in this component, you can also have no result found, or you can have some other things that to populate this component. It doesn't have to be restricted to the search. It can be anything. For example, you can have events here, and if someone search for a specific event, you can just hide those components with all your events, and then show only the events that the user searched for. search for. And we have here a very simple, actually, very simple text. So I'm only displaying a text, but you can have whatever you want. Of course, in the list view, you can have images, you can have text, you can have whatever you want. But this is a simple demo, so I'm only displaying a text. So first things first, this is the simple layout. So let me explain how to connect all the dots. In the list view, you need to have, in the backend query, you need to have the API. And in my case, the name of the API is search. And what I have here, it's search result. This is always true because this is how I do my API calls. I know that this API call, it's about this this thing, so I put it in the parameter and just put it on true. And I know that if I have a parameter which is search results, I know that this is this coming from the search. Next, I have the user email, but this is optional. This is only for me because in my case I need the user email to specify some other important information. For example, if the user liked the event or not. But as I said, this is specific to my use case, so probably you probably will not need the email of the user. And then the last one is the most important one, is actually the criteria, or the searched what people actually want to search. So this is, in my case, the parameter name, it's criteria. It's the source, the value source is from variable. The source is from widget state. This is very important. It should be coming from the widget state. And because I have only one text field and I'm lazy, I didn't field anything. I just used the normal widget state without anything. So that's why it's showing some in text. Like this is the default that it will show when you add a text field. So this is actually what you need. And because this should return a list, then you have to go to generate dynamic children. And you have here, you can name it whatever you want to. In my case, I name it result. So this is the single result. This is the name. This is the variable name of the single result. So here, this should return results. And here is the single result. So this is a list. And this is actually one single object. And then we have the source, which is the same source as this. So this is the source. And it's coming from the list view, as you can see, and the name is search because this is search. That's why it's called search here. And then I have the body and the JSON, and it's actually, I don't use JSON paths name, so I'm just returning the whole JSON that I'm getting from my backend. And this is actually what it is actually returned from this API call. And this is actually what is returned, and this is an array of JSON elements. So in my case, I'm taking all the array, and here, when I go to dynamic, generate dynamic children, and when I get to result, I'm actually only taking this part of the result. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. And when I'm done with this setup, I go to text, whatever I want to display, and I go to text, and then I go to set from variable and click on that result item JSON, then JSON path, and what is that I want to display. In my case, I want to display the name, which is this over here. So this should display this name and this name and this name. And because I'm Bulgarian, don't worry about it. This is normal Cyrillic, and this is actually not Russian. This is actually a Cyrillic. So we are using Cyrillic. We actually invaded we created Cyrillic. Actually, it's not the Russians who did it, but this is another topic for another day. So this is actually the basic setup. This is all you need. Let me try that and test it live. So this is actually how it should work, because if there is no results, as you can see over here, this should actually return an empty array if there are no results in order this to work. So if there is no results, this should return like this, an empty array from the API code. And if this returns an empty array, because right now it returns an empty array because there is nothing searched, it is actually going over here, and then it says empty list widget, and then yes, this is true. And what I should return an image. What image should I return? I should return this image. So it's returning actually this. Don't ask me why it doesn't look like it looks here. Why does it have like this blue background? I don't know. But this is not important right now. So the important part right now is to test it. So if I write, yeah, I have to update it. I don't know why it's crashing like that for some reason. Sometimes it doesn't work in the run, or I'm not doing something that something not right. So yeah, we have it now. It should work. Yeah. So I'm writing in Bulgarian, of course, because as I said, this is Bulgarian. I'm Cyrillic. So yeah, just write any string, and if the string is found, then it should return the results. And actually, those results are coming from here. So you can see that this is the first name, this is the second name, this is the third name, this is the fourth name, and this is the fifth name. So you can see it's actually coming from here, and this is actually working. And let me show you actually a working demo for my own, which I created, which is actually, those are events of Twitter events actually. And we have the date, and we have the time, that the name of the event, where it should be played, the date and the time. And here I can search by a person, and by event, or by a Twitter. But in my case, I would use the same search, so I will use the same person. So if I write like this, wait a little bit, and then you can see the actors, because those are actors. And you can see actually the actors, it's actually the same list view, but I added the picture and the name, and what is the a person doing for their job. So in this case, it's an actor. And if I click this button over here, which I said is important, but I didn't mention it, but if I click it, it's actually returning an empty array. And if it's returning an empty array, in my case, I'm not using an image, but I'm using a component, which is coming from over here, component. And I'm using component, and inside this component, I actually have all my events that are listed in the first place when someone loads this screen. And I can also search for another name, so I can just write this common Bulgarian name, and you can see the persons appeared. So this is actually an event, this is a person, and those are tweeters. So in my case, I'm searching three things with one text field, so to say. I'm searching events, I'm searching for people, and I'm searching for institutions and theaters in my case. So yeah, that's all it is to it. I hope you can implement this in your app as well. And take care. And actually, I just wanted to add if you want some other videos, and if there are some topics that you cannot find online about FlutterFlow, yeah, just let me know. Probably I can do a video about it as well. So thanks again. Have a nice day.